In this episode, we're going to talk about the importance of staying awake in your life and to your life. And then we're going to discuss some ideas about how to do that.
I'm Sienna.
And I'm Toast.
We've been partners in life, love, and music since 2001. And we believe life is best lived as a love story. Your love story.
After all, to love well is to live well. For more, check out siennaandtoast.com. But for now, here's this episode. The importance of staying awake. I have my green tea here.
I have my coffee.
Okay.
And we are ready. We're awake.
Stay awake. Just drink caffeine. There you go. And that's a wrap. No. Okay. So first of all, thank you so much for joining us once again. I hope your 2020 is going phenomenally well. That you're kicking butt in whatever way that means for you.
Yep.
Okay.
It's not going so well for me, I have to say.
You're getting your butt kicked.
I'm getting my butt kicked with, having had the cold, the little cough, and I just want, I want more energy by this point. But it's okay. I figure that the part of I always think when you get sick, so much of it has to do with just a forced downtime. If you can't take it for yourself, which is actually would be more fun, right?
Yeah,
to consciously
proactively
say,
take a
I'm going to
vacation.
take some time off versus getting sick and then being down.
Being on the couch.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but I'm okay.
Yes.
I have reflected. It has given me time to do those things.
Right.
I didn't expect
We
this, but
all
I'm
go
okay.
through those things.
We do. It's life. So
That's right.
And
That's
I'm
right.
recovering. So anyways, thank you so much for joining us today. We did want to close the loop on nakedness because we had mentioned that in two past podcasts.
Was it the two previous
I think we did it
episodes?
in
my
the
gosh.
quick cast and the last episode.
Oh, gosh, wow.
So what happened is we were given a really nice, this is kind of going into too much detail, but we were
But
given,
that's what we do sometimes.
we were given a really nice gift card to a place called, oh wait, should we not say where the place is?
I think we can say.
Okay. We were given a nice gift card to a place called Brighton Bush.
Hot Springs.
Which is one of the oldest, quote unquote, resort spas in Oregon.
So we're talking old.
Yeah,
I think
it's old.
like covered wagon level old.
Yeah.
Like pretty old. Because it's a natural hot springs area.
Okay, you're yelling.
Right? Oh, sorry.
I don't know why. That
Getting
felt like
excited.
you're just yelling. Anywho, so we wanted to make sure, hey, we need to use this gift card. And they're very strict. You have to, if you make a reservation, which is what's required, you can't just show up. You have to make a reservation. There is no, you cannot cancel. You can only transfer your reservation and give it to someone else. You cannot cancel.
Or reschedule.
Or reschedule.
I
You
don't think
cannot
you can.
even reschedule.
Once
No,
you make a
can't.
reservation, it's very
it.
strict. It's like that Seinfeld episode, The Soup Nazi,
Yes.
right? Super strict.
Yeah. And also, when you make a reservation, they will send you the driving directions for how to get there because you cannot follow your the GPS Maps app on your phone.
Or any GPS, apparently.
Yeah. Because it will take you the wrong way.
Yeah. And it's not going to help you, and even if you tried, because it is in the boonies to the point where they don't have cell towers that reach that far. So cell coverage is just non-existent.
After a certain point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were a little concerned. You have to bring your own water, which can't be in a glass bottle or plastic.
Which leaves metal.
You have to bring a flashlight. You also have to bring your own towels. And you also cannot wear perfumes, deodorant, lotions, anything on your body that could contaminate the hot springs. I get that part. That part's important. I mean, I get the flashlight. We get everything. We get everything.
But we're just giving you the flavor.
But it just felt a little bit, we thought, oh, great, we have this gift card to go to the hot springs. Let's make a reservation and go. But it felt more like, oh my gosh, we need to really be prepared, and we can't cancel, and we can't reschedule, and we're not going to have cell phone access after a certain point, and we're going to be 2 hours away from home. And
it's like you're joining a convent or something.
It felt a little scary, and it turned out that the day we had reservations, it was pouring rain.
Yeah, the forecast was for a precipitation level of 100%.
Did you see I almost fell off my chair?
No. Gosh. I wish we'd all seen that.
You didn't see me shake? Because gosh.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness. If I fell off my chair, that really wouldn't be a good start for 2020. Oh boy.
Okay. Let's take a moment to get grounded.
I'm okay now.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Why don't you finish telling this story? Obviously, it's too exciting for me.
Well, it was a beautiful drive to get there. And we were prepared to turn around and abort if the weather got too gnarly and the rain turned to sleet, or, because we did not. Although we freaking prepared. Like, I packed our truck with more than I thought we would need, just in case there was an emergency. I mean, we didn't know, this is the first time we were going out, and it's way out in the boonies, and we're not like survival Mountain Joe kind of people. So I had the car packed with stuff,
and thank God
I
you
was
did.
Ready. Yeah, and thank God I did, because the big, hugest jackets that we own, that I just threw in the car for emergency, we actually ended up needing at the resort.
Like, needing them.
Okay, so we did get to the resort after one wrong turn within the Willamette National Forest. That's where the hot springs is. It's within the national forest, which is pretty cool. So anyway, yeah, after one wrong turn in there, we reversed out of the unpaved dirt and gravel road, got back on the road and continued on, and eventually did make it there, which was great. We were like, yay, we're gonna get our massages. That's all we cared about, really. That was a main thing. But
we were 20 minutes late. Well,
No, we weren't.
We
just made it.
No, we didn't.
Oh.
We were 20 minutes late for our 1.5 hour massages. So
late? I didn't know we were that late.
It was, because by the time, we probably turned in there just on time. And then we had the whole check-in process. Right?
And had to walk to the cabin.
And then we had to walk forever to find the place.
I see what you're saying.
And then we had to go there, use the bathroom, all that stuff.
Gotcha. I see. So you're counting down to the time where...
when they actually start.
Therapist hands are on your body.
Yeah.
Like, boom, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
But I was saying that just the drive alone was so scenic.
It was so beautiful.
And relaxing. Luckily, it really was not pouring buckets of rain the entire drive. There were some sections where it was, but there were other sections where it was pretty light, and you could enjoy beautiful, beautiful scenery, which was therapeutic in and of itself. I was really happy Sienna actually made the comment during the drive. She said, even if we don't get a massage, the scenery so far alone
was
worth it.
Yeah, beyond worth it. I've never seen that before, where you're driving basically next to a roaring, moving river. Mm-hmm. So beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's the type of river where you think you're going to see salmon just jumping up.
The kind that's on the Apple screensaver with the bear and the salmon's almost going into the bear's mouth. That kind?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was great. And then right when we arrived, that's when it started to downpour. As soon as we got out of the car. And it was just crazy. And so when we actually first left earlier that morning, and I saw my big gigantic jacket that Toast packed for me, I was like, oh my God, you're so silly.
But I
But
wasn't
thank
silly after
God
all.
you were not silly. And I'm so grateful you packed it. So we were totally bundled up. Like we couldn't have been more bundled. Got to the place for the massage, and my massage was in such a great room because they didn't put on any music because I could just hear the river.
The creek or whatever, the stream.
Whatever. It was so
whatever you call
loud in a wonderful way. So I loved that. But anyways, everyone's probably wondering about the nakedness. So as we mentioned, this place, Brighton Bush, is a destination for hot springs that you can enjoy. And we found out that most people enjoy it naked. Mm-hmm. So we knew that we weren't planning to be naked ourselves, but we brought our bathing suits, and we were just prepared to see nakedness, I guess. And after our massage, we were like, okay, I guess let's check out the hot springs. But I swear to you, you folks, like the massage house, where they have all the rooms in the appointments, it was so toasty and warm in there. We got all bundled up to go back outside, and it was like whipping rain and so cold. And so we walked to one of the springs, and we're like, are we even going to do this?
Which kind of, yeah.
Because it would have entailed changing in the freeze, because there's no changing rooms. Like you have to just strip down. Well, I mean, there's like that little wall.
It was really mysterious.
It's not covered though. Like you can't change. It's not like you're going to change in a warm area.
Yeah.
So, and we were so bundled up and still freezing, bundled up.
So cold.
And then I think, so we're kind of, meandering around in our puffy coats with our hoods on and just in the rain and shivering. And then I think for me, the thing that sealed my no, like, okay, I'm not doing this. And I'm sorry. Like, I was like, okay, no, I was prepared for nakedness. But when I saw the man from behind, completely naked, I was just like, I don't think I can do it.
Nah, you're like,
yeah,
nah,
I don't,
never mind.
I don't know.
It's okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So that was it. And I have to say, if we had gone during a nice, hot, and dry summer's day, it probably would have been a completely different experience. But I'm still couldn't say that we would have done the hot springs 100%, even under those conditions. It's hard to say for sure.
well, I think if I wore my bathing suit under, where I wouldn't have to like find some corner of the woods to change.
Got it.
I might have been fine.
I see.
So I think I would have done it then.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think it's because, okay, we're probably going on too long about this, but I think it's because we're just not the naked kind of people.
Right. Some people are, and some people are not.
Yeah, some people are. And sometimes I wish I was a naked kind of person. Like, whoo, I'm just naked and free. But I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. And our friends, actually, around this time, they went to one of these. Portland has a what is
Another
it?
hot springs, right?
Like
Type of
no,
thing.
it's not a hot springs. It's like a hot pool or something like that.
Okay.
Like a steam pool or something. So
okay.
it's man-made. It's man-made. And clothes are optional, and it's co-ed and all that stuff.
Wow. Okay.
And so remember they went to it, and they said their bathing suit, they're not naked people. So they went in their bathing suits. They said they were the only ones in their bathing suits. And they said they were just, all parts were just all in their face. They said it was crowded, a lot of people, and just parts everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it's because we're American.
Well, what do you mean by that? Because I bet
think
the
if we
people
were
who had their parts
European-
exposed were also American.
Well, but I think if we were European,
just-
we would be a little bit
I don't
more
know.
relaxed
I'm not-
about the body and showing it and seeing it and having balls in your face. I mean, I don't know.
I'm not worldly enough to know about to opine about that.
Okay.
But-
anyways, we probably talked too much about
But
this
that's
nakedness
what
deal.
we mean when we were talking about nakedness. Because when
Okay.
we were at Brighton Bush Hot Springs and we were going through the whole experience, enjoy the beautiful scenery, enjoy the massage, cold rain. Nah, we're not going to do a hot springs. That whole thing. We were thinking of you, dear listener. And we thought,
We have to tell
we
them.
got to share this with them.
Because we
But-
looked pretty ridiculous. We
Yeah,
were
I felt pretty
completely
ridiculous.
puffed up in our jackets
Yeah,
and
yeah,
hoods, completely wet. Even our clothes inside the jackets were wet.
Meanwhile,
because it was
people
windy.
are buck naked.
People are buck naked and just walking around.
Yeah.
And I think too, okay, so what I will say about Brighton Bush is I think Brighton Bush would be a great place to go, possibly as a single, like if you're a single person.
Okay.
And I guess you don't need to be single.
Okay.
But if you want to go
wait.
somewhere by yourself and just rent a cabin and bring your own snacks and food, because they did have one cafeteria that had you could have food, but it was only open between 1 and 2. It's only open 1 hour a day, and you can't just go in there and get stuff. You have to make a reservation to buy food and drink. So
Yeah, so
You know.
I think it really is. If you've heard of the term glamping, which is like glamorous camping,
this is not glamping.
This is the opposite of
Oh, yeah,
that.
yes.
Whatever the opposite
Yes.
of glamping is, this is it.
Yeah, you
because
have
it's like
to-
a campsite that's done for you. You know, they have these little tiny cottages,
Cute
and
looking.
of course they have that lodge where
Yep.
they serve a hot meal for you. But
If you- yeah.
you either have to be a planner, so you know, like, okay, this is my hour to go get hot food.
and that's
or-
it. It's only that 1 hour.
Yeah, so either you're a planner and you work with that schedule, or you're adventurous and you don't mind just winging it and just living off of your protein bars or trail mix or whatever, right? Yeah. So it's
It's for a certain kind of person.
It's a retreat campus.
Retreat from everything.
Yeah, it's not a resort.
No, it's not a
Right.
resort.
So yeah,
It's
but it was
not
a
a resort.
great experience. I'm so glad that we went. Still,
And I think people would really love it. Like if you're a rough it kind of person.
Totally, it
you would
it definitely
love it.
fills a need and a niche in the market.
Yes.
Okay, and that's
it.
is Sienna and Toast's review of Brighton Bush Hot Springs.
Actually, okay, wait, I do have to say one more thing about
Oh my
Brighton
God,
Bush. I'm
okay.
sorry, you played the music already.
I know, jeez.
But
trying to be professional.
I think that Brighton Bush, like what I can see for someone is if, like, say if you're a writer and you're going to bring your computer there to write, just write, and you also have your little like espresso machine. And hopefully maybe they have like a little fridge in the room.
I don't know if they have
And so you
electricity in those cabins
So you can have your
at all.
coconut creamer.
Oh my God.
And if you just have your yummy coffee and water and snacks and you're just going to write, then you just stay in your cute cabin and write. Then you step out for air and you take a nice walk in the woods by the creek and then go back and write. Like that's what I think Brighton Bush would be great for.
Okay, so all
Just
you
have to
writers
say.
out there. Okay.
So now on to the topic
Yeah,
finally.
I know. I got to play the music again.
I know. I'm sorry. No, don't do it.
Okay.
All right. So,
The importance of staying awake.
okay. So this topic came up because when Toast and I were discussing 2019 and we were talking about the lessons that we each felt the year helped us with or the year taught us. For me, one of them was having to do with raising the bar for myself on what awake means. And I thought, hey, maybe this could be a topic for the podcast.
And it is a great one. So we have can I go over the two different definitions, different but related definitions of what we mean when we use the phrase staying awake? So one thing we mean is paying deliberate attention to internal, meaning inside of you, in your feelings, in your mind, in your thoughts, and to external phenomena. External meaning like social interactions around you, what's going on in the world, and that sort of thing. So paying deliberate attention and being an observer, right? Being an active observer of what's going on inside of me and outside of me, instead of just being caught up in it,
Right,
and
right.
carried away
Yes.
by the rapids. That's one definition. The other definition, which is related to it, feels a little more spiritual, I guess, and cosmic, because this second definition is the active involvement or response that we have to the messages, teachings, the guidance, the leading of what the life force is wanting to grow or make whole within you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's engaging. It's that whole thing. It's the whole thing of being a partner with life, with the life force.
Yeah, that's good.
And I think I remember I think it was just in the last episode, Sienna, we talked about words for the year. And, I was just admitting that, you know what, honestly, like, I don't know if I had like words for the year, or if I had them and then I forgot them. It's like, oh, I had to admit that I guess I didn't stay awake with that one. And I think
it was conviction.
the message, I know that's been
Your
a word. I think that's been a word for me, but I guess what that realization brought up for me is like, hey, it's like, stay engaged. Don't just get a word, like come up with a word for the year and then go on your merry way. Right? It's like, okay, what is the life force wanting to do in me and through me to help me evolve? And that's a constant question.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I'm changing my word for the year, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about it, but I'm just giving an update that I'm changing my word.
Okay. All right. You got to tell me afterwards,
anyways,
behind the scenes.
Okay, so we thought, what are some practices that we can share with you all that might help you to exercise your awake muscle, and if you already exercise your awake muscle, to maybe stretch to the next level, whatever that might be for you. So one of them can be to ask yourself in any given moment, to just get into the practice of asking yourself regularly throughout your day, like, what am I feeling in this moment? And that might sound just corny and like, oh, I'm not gonna do that.
That's worthless.
But it's actually not, because I swear to you, so many of us truly cannot define what we're feeling in any moment.
Yeah, I'm raising my hand.
And when you ask yourself that, okay, what am I feeling? Like right now, if I ask myself that, which I just did, that's why the pause.
Okay.
I could feel my heart was racing a little bit. I feel a little bit distracted. I feel stress from some other things that are pressing for me. But it's not. But if I were to just like think about, okay, here I am recording the podcast, I'm really feeling this sense of like, oh, it's fun because I love recording the podcast. But what's beneath that, right? That's the surface level. But what's really beneath that? What's underlying this feeling of enjoyment in recording the podcast? I do have these feelings of stress and other things. And so sometimes if we don't, let me rephrase that. when we can identify all the things that are within us, right? Maybe pushed down, shoved down. Maybe it's all shoved down now because we're recording the podcast. Whatever it is, we can more easily be present to the moment because our feelings aren't here worrying about this. Our feelings aren't there, doing that. But it really is just about asking yourself where you're at,
And that's that's awareness.
That
right?
is awareness.
Awakeness.
To know, how you feel.
Yeah. I have been doing like mini resets or reboots for myself throughout the day, throughout the night, just I guess in an attempt to manage or break the habit that I've had of always listening to a podcast or always, checking Twitter in any spare moment, that sort of thing, right? Checking email in any spare moment. And just making a proactive move to create more solitude and spaciousness in my life so that I can tune in to what is the life force
saying to you.
Telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's being revealed about,
that's good.
About how I'm my opportunity, I guess, to evolve in a conscious way. Right. Yeah. And I guess this practice of asking, just momentarily, right? What am I feeling?
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to, I guess it's just natural for me to relate it to things in the physical, like your physical body and exercise and working out and your posture and stuff like that. Because I know that so many of us in this modern age, we experience problems with our backs and pain and posture and stuff. And all that kind of stuff, I've experienced it. It's amazing how those conditions are only there because of
Lack of
it's lack of awareness. It's compounded problems, right? It's like, oh, yeah, I didn't realize that I wasn't awake and aware enough to realize that I'm tense here in my lower left side. But if I just do this simple little stretch, it's like, whoa, I am really tight there.
Yeah.
But it's, being proactive and seeing like, oh, what am I feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another practice that you might want to try is, this one has to do with listening. So, and this is about your communication with other people, really being able to listen to others with curiosity versus anticipation. And that means really listening fully, listening with your whole body, your whole being, listening to a person and being curious about what they're saying versus, say, crafting your response, like what you're going to say in response
Preparing
to
your
what they're saying,
counter-argument.
getting or thinking of a story that whatever they're saying reminds you of. So you think of your own personal story and you're getting ready to share your personal story, but then you're missing a lot of what they're still saying to you. So it's listening fully with your whole being. So listening again with curiosity versus anticipation.
And well, I was anticipating wanting to share with you about that listening without crafting a response. I think there's something to be said for being comfortable with silence. Moments of silence in a conversation. Just to let that be okay.
Yeah.
I think that needs to be okay if you are going to be listening in such a deep way, to take it in. Okay. A third idea in terms of staying awake is to listen to your body. So this is focusing on the internal, right? Your body sensations, like, if you tune in, you'll know, like, gosh, I really should get some fresh air.
Yeah.
Gosh, my body's I'm going to feel better if I break this inertia of being still and I get up and I exercise.
Yeah. Or like, I'm really craving, for some reason, I keep craving dark chocolate. It's like, oh, my body must need something in the dark chocolate. You're kind of smirking because what? I eat a lot of dark chocolate?
Because I'm wondering if people are going to think we're joking. Because it's like,
no.
I really
Because
need
here's the
some
thing.
French fries.
Yes. Okay. So, yes, there is, it can be tricky. And so let's just say that because sometimes your body will crave the thing that it is addicted to. Okay, that makes sense. We've all heard of that. So you may be craving sugar, but it's just because your body is addicted to sugar.
Right.
So there comes a time, and I think you will be able to ascertain this the more you exercise it, is knowing if your body is in addiction mode or painkiller mode, which is our fourth little exercise practice tip. But whether it's in that painkiller mode or whether it is truly something in the thing you're craving that your body really needs. Because your body will also crave like, oh God, I really need protein.
Right.
And you're
Right.
like, God, like for me,
I need a fresh salad, man, because I haven't had fresh, food in so long. Like that kind of feeling.
yes,
Right?
like
Yeah.
I still crave meat, even though I don't eat meat. But I know that when I'm starting to crave meat, like I probably need protein.
Right.
So then I'll have like a protein drink or something like that.
Yeah.
So I know it's really tricky, but
It
I
does-
think you would know. I think you would know, like if all you're eating is dark chocolate, then probably it's not something your body needs.
But that's all of this speaks to like this trickiness speaks to the importance of how foundational it is
To stay awake.
to stay awake.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the more that you cultivate this internal spiritual life, the more you'll have that discernment.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, we had mentioned, okay, here's a fourth thing. Identify things that you use as just, they're painkillers, right? To just numb you
numb
out.
out.
Like, oh, I just feel stressed. I'm just going to stress eat. Right. Or even stress exercise, stress workout.
True.
You
Yeah.
know, and I guess.
Or I'm just going to go on YouTube and you're just watching endless YouTube videos after YouTube video after
Right.
YouTube video. And there's no consciousness that you're bringing to your YouTube watching. Because nothing's wrong with watching YouTube. But it's like, are you using it to numb? Are you using it to be a distraction? To not be present? Are you using something to take you out of the present moment?
Yeah.
I do that. I do that.
Yeah, I think all of us do
with-
that.
I do that, I know, with television. And I can tell, like, I love a great binge watch. I love that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I know there's a line for me where I can tell by how I feel. So if I'm doing the first practice we introduced by asking, how am I feeling in this moment? If I am feeling a certain way and I am binge watching something, I know I'm most likely using the binge watching as a numbing versus true enjoyment and loving the art of whatever series I'm enjoying.
Yeah. And I think a way to one indication for me to have a reality check of like, hey, are you using the binge watch as just it's a painkiller and you're abusing it in that way?
Yeah.
Is to check in and be honest with yourself about how do you feel after you're done? Because I know, like, when I'm going to scrolling through Twitter and I'm just doing it because I just want to distract myself. It's a painkiller in a way, right? It's like I don't want to have to do the next thing on my list or whatever. I just want to fill the empty time, scroll through Twitter. But when you're finished, it's like, do you then feel like, wow, that gave me life.
Right.
It
Energized.
restored the life force within me. No, you feel the opposite. You feel like,
You feel dulled.
Yeah.
A little bit exhausted.
Yeah, you feel the life has drained out of you.
It's kind of like that. And then even moments of, because I think this one, food is definitely in this category here.
For sure.
But
Yes.
remember that time we went to Krispy Kreme and we got, and we were,
Man, this
all
was
we
like
intended
years ago.
was, all we intended was, okay, let's just get 2 donuts, one for you, one for me, because the sign said hot now. And, it's not always saying that. So we're like, let's go to the drive-thru and get 2 donuts. So we did. And then when we're looking at the menu, we're like, oh my God, like 2 donuts is like the price of like 4 donuts.
If we paid just 50 cents more or whatever it was,
But
right?
it's way cheaper if you get 6 donuts. So we ended up getting 6 donuts and we wanted to eat them while they were hot. So we just parked in the parking lot and then we just wolfed down. We each wolfed down 3 hot donuts, not being present in the moment, which will bring us to number 5, about savoring simple moments and rituals. Like we could have been very present with our donut eating and probably one was going to be enough and really enjoy the hot donut and the yummy glaze and going, oh my gosh, this tastes so good. And the person that made it was probably so happy and it's just so yummy. And that's it. But no, we just wolfed down 3 donuts each and then we felt so sick. Do you remember?
I do, yes. Even though it was probably 10 or more years ago, I
know, but I remember that. We just scarfed.
It was funny.
Like
we were
must have
laughing at
been-
ourselves.
I know, but
That's
like
why I
must have
remember.
something must have been going on for us because we were just like wolfing down these donuts.
I think weren't we coming
lot.
back? Weren't we coming back from a really late night gig and
Yeah,
we
we
were
were. Yeah, we
starving
were. Yeah.
because we hadn't eaten? Yeah.
But
Anyway.
anyways, so number 5, another practice that you can try, and I think probably a lot of you are already doing some form of this, but really savoring simple moments and rituals. So for me, I love and look forward to my morning coffee.
I do it the same with my tea.
Yes, and so it's nice to just hold it in your hands and feel the warmth of your cup. And smell the coffee deeply and just sip it and go yum inside yourself and just keep going yum with every sip you take and really loving it, and you can do the same thing with meditation, with listening to music, with journaling, anything that is part of your daily ritual or anything that you totally enjoy, like if you like Krispy Kreme, savor it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true. So true. Another thing that we find so valuable is just, this is in the category of simple, is just quiet time. And doing with that time quiet reflection on our day, on the weekend, on the particular season of life we're in.
And this could be, you could also do your gratitude practice if you have one. This could be something like that, thinking about the things you're grateful for that happen in the day, but just basically reflecting on the day that you had. So many things happen throughout a day, but we're just, having to move on to the next moment.
Right.
A lot of times that
Sure.
we don't have, it feels like anyways, that we don't often have the time in the moment to enjoy the moment. But if you take that time at the end of the day to reflect on your day, I think that can really be helpful.
Yeah. And what I find really helpful is to use those times to think about, some like pain points in my life. Like if I'm noticed that, I've been stressed out by the idea of a certain situation or something, a relationship, then to really
Did you
open
look
up.
at me?
No. To open up and really ask for guidance from like the life force, right? Ask for guidance about like, okay, what again, back to that question of evolution. What is being called forth in me what character trait or virtue or personality, character defect, or whatever is being worked on in me in this particular situation. And I feel I get so much a sense of support and it just feels like a boost to my energy when I feel like I got an answer, and then there's a sense of meaning and purpose. And I think that's really what all of us want. We want that feeling of meaning and purpose.
Yeah. Okay. And the last practice, and this one is totally like everyone, I feel like everyone needs this, is getting out in nature.
Yeah.
Like Brighton Bush. Get out there. See some naked. But really just going out, breathing fresh air, having a sky moment, walk to the mailbox, stand barefoot on the grass outside, all of that stuff in all of our lives, where most often every day you're in front of the computer for part of the day. Your cell phone is right there by you. And for the most part, your cell phone is probably on you for most of the day. And all of these electronics, all the different technologies that we're using every single day. It's like, get away from all those things. So much of it is, they're blessings, obviously, but it's like we need to have more balance, get out and just be in nature,
right?
Get grounded, come back in, have technology assault you, go back out, get grounded with nature, all of that stuff.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yes.
All right.
So thanks for joining us again for this episode. It's so cool to be able to share our thoughts with you and to be on this journey and to be in this life on this planet together in the same time, in the same generation, however we overlap. So we love that. And we love that you are interested also in evolution and in progress. And we're just here to always remind you that we're all in the same boat. Nobody's perfect. There's no such thing as perfection, actually. It's all just about progress.
Progress, not perfection.
Yeah, and we're always engaged in that. There is no finish line. So once again, thanks for listening. You can find out more at our website, and we have our email list link in the show notes as well. So, hey, thanks again.
Until next time, this is Sienna.
And this is Toast, inviting you to come and live your love story.